Right, hi guys, I'm just going to quickly run through the importance of layer masks and adjustment layers. Now, if you get your head around these two things, it's pretty much the key to mastering Photoshop. If you look up most techniques online, they will involve using adjustment layers or layer masks in some way. I'm not going to talk about them in too much detail, but I'm just going to show you a few things. So first of all, I've got this file open. I've actually already kind of retouched this in Photoshop. This isn't how it came out of the camera, but I haven't done too much to it. That's the thing that I want you to think about, is when you take a digital image, you don't have to put hours and hours of work in. You can just do quite subtle changes. These kinds of things have been done for years in the darkroom, so it's nothing new to the digital workflow. So I was just making that background layer unlocked by double clicking it and pressing enter. That means that I can now treat that as a free layer. So this is the button to create a layer mask. It's the little black square with a white circle in it down here. If you click that, what you'll see is where the layer is, you'll get this little white box. Yeah? When it's white, it's not doing anything. Okay? It's not doing anything. When it's black, it will not show any of what it's next to. So let me give you an example. Here we've got white and black. If it's different colours, you can just click this button and it will turn it back to white and black. If you press this little button here, it swaps between white and black, and you'll notice that's quite a useful thing in a minute. A quick way to go between black and white, or whichever two colours you've got here, is by pressing X. Whenever I press X, it'll go from black to white. Really useful shortcut, that. Another really useful shortcut is if you press B, it goes to brush. So I've moved it to the move tool. When I press B, it'll go to brush. Okay, it's another really good shortcut to have. So wherever I paint black, it will now get rid of what's next to it. So I'll have that opacity up here at 100%. That's how much opacity the brush has. So when I click, it's going to take the image away wherever it is. So that's not very useful really. So we're going to go back. Now, if I was going to paint it all black, I could just do a fill layer. Make sure I've got black. Make sure that the layer is selected here and click black. Now, this is where I get into interesting. So, if I get the brush and change the opacity from 100, if I click 100 over here with white, yeah, down here white, or by pressing X I can change it to white. It's at 100 at the moment. I can paint in areas, but it will all come through in the middle. Yeah, all of the image will. If I change this opacity to roughly 20%, that's what I like to work with, 20 to 25%. When I click over, it'll only bring in tiny bits, so every time you click, it'll bring more and more. If you look on here, on the layer mask, you'll have this kind of faint amount of white come through down here. Can you see that? So that means you can paint areas in. That's really useful technique to have. It's not useful for this image now, but I'll show you how it can become useful using adjustment layers. Okay, so I can slowly paint in these bits, or you can just keep clicking and it'll slowly paint it in. It gives you just a lot more control than if it's at 100% and you click, then it's just going to all come in and you can see these quite harsh lines coming in. So I'm going to delete this layer mask now. That's just how layer masks work. If they're white, it means that nothing is affected. If it's black, it means that nothing is going to come through. Okay, and then you can paint each colour in to let bits in or take things out. That's just the key thing to remember there. And some nice little shortcuts. B for brush, that'll give you the brush. And then also pressing X will change between the two colours. If you press this little button here, that'll change it back to black and white, but it should be default black and white anyway. And then you just press X to go between the two. Another quick shortcut that you'll really need to know is Invert. So you might have used Invert before. If I press Invert on the actual image, the shortcut is Command I. That'll invert the actual image. But if you invert white, white inverted is black. So you can do it on the layer mask and really quickly change between the layer mask being on and off. I'm just pressing Command and I to invert it. So then using that combined with the X key to change between my brush being black and white, I've got quite a lot of quick control over what I paint in. On the next video I'll show you how you can combine that with adjustment layers. So that's all for now.